Good morning. Thank you everyone for coming to TJ Kyle's valedictorian speech. So to start, TJ, I'm going to tell you this. Stop second guessing. Trust that you have the skills, the talent, the capability, whatever it may be, to handle what is asked of you. And so, with that aside, as I mentioned, TJ joined my advisory 11th grade and quickly seemed to blend in with the crowd. And to accurately capture TJ's experience in high school, though, I think it's important to talk about the things that took place outside of the school walls. So the moments outside of the classroom are what define TJ and the success that he's found here at the Met. So you see, he really does have this great talent and this ability to work in the social service world. Specifically, TJ has the ability to support and engage developmentally disabled adults and teens in a way that's pretty remarkable. So for as long as he's been my student, and well before that as well, TJ's been involved with Special Olympics, the Trudeau Center, Gateways for Change, and then just his own personal contacts within the community. This past weekend, TJ was it Saturday and Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, down at URI participating in the Special Olympics of Rhode Island. In this light, TJ has realized a monumental feat for his senior project. He fundraised and then he got the funding and the products to purchase 9 iPads and a related communication app to work with clients at the Gateways Day program. So as a result of his work, there's a new program being developed, and in large part is being led by TJ to train families, staff, and clients in how to use these devices. So I just want to think about that fact. Like it's pretty crazy. So a 17-year-old high school kid designed, executed, and presented this project over 15 highly qualified and professional staff.
Can I add to that?
Absolutely.
Not only has he accomplished that to date, but I also have other companies now, friends that work for other agencies that are inquiring about what TJ's doing. So I may be able to get him side jobs teaching in other agencies. Surprise.
And I think that is right. That captures what you have done successfully. When we look at the success, that is what captures it, right? TJ has made a substantial impact on the lives of those clients with whom he worked, and he stands to leave a lasting legacy of this work at Gateway and future agencies that could impact hundreds of clients. So it's pretty impressive when you stop and actually think about it in that context. So when I close, TJ, as you go forward in life, you do well to keep this accomplishment in mind. And not in the, braggart kind of way to show how awesome you are, right? But rather, keep it as a reminder of what you're capable of doing when you don't limit yourself. You have great ideas and talents. Keep developing them, keep training them to realize the success for both yourself and a world that clearly needs an advocate like you. And to advance this same idea a little more forward, let this also be the belief that guides you as you move forward with your dance career. So for those who don't know, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, TJ's a pretty mean ballroom dancer. He has some pretty serious ambitions for the next few years. And so having watched you manage and complete this SDP, I have no reason to doubt you can achieve those pretty lofty dance goals if you take that same energy and that same initiative into them. So congratulations, break a leg, and now it's my pleasure to introduce Adam Johnson to say a few more words about TJ.
Well, I just want to say, first of all, congratulations to TJ, and also just thank you to everybody who came here today to celebrate this moment for TJ. I've been his mentor for roughly, I think it's 3 years, TJ, does that sound about right? Okay. I was his mentor over at the Trudeau Center prior to his transfer over to Gateways. I was his mentor with the Children's Recreation Program. And TJ and I shared a really special bond over these last 3 years because I myself actually just graduated this year from my education career, just like TJ's doing today. And it was during the week of my graduation that TJ approached me and said, I really would like you to do this speech for me. And I started to reflecting on what it is that makes TJ and I click so well together, why we are so compatible with each other. And I figured out that the reason why we worked out so well together is because, oddly enough, TJ, you and I are the same person. We both have a passion for sports and a passion for the developmental disability population. That's what really drove us during our high school years. We both like to overbook ourselves with about 500 different things, and we don't like to take time for ourselves. But going back to the piece that you were talking about with dance, TJ and I both in high school found comfort and sanctuary, I feel like, with an activity that by many of our peers was not considered a very popular choice. TJ chose dance, I chose Boy Scouts. But I think the one thing that really separates TJ from how I was as a high school senior, TJ took a really bold risk, which not many high school kids will do. took a bold risk and he dropped a sport that he had a passion for, that he played for about 10 years, and he pursued something that was very outside the realm of what he was already doing. And the reason why he did it was because it made him happy. And what I can say to any high school graduate is that finding your happiness is the most important thing that you can do in your life. It doesn't matter what career that you pursue, it's the most important thing that you can pursue. I'm just so proud of TJ because he already found that at such a young age that not many people will find at his age. And just to close out so that TJ can come back up here, and we mentioned that he has been heavily involved in Special Olympics. And there have been a lot of funny stories about TJ over the years in Special Olympics. When we do any type of Special Olympics competition, we always do the Special Olympics oath. And the final line of the oath is, "Let me be brave in the attempt." And the key word there is brave. And I think that, TJ, I mock you a lot. I make fun of you for the fact that, you drove all the way to Worcester during Special Olympics weekend and got your car broken down. I make fun of the fact that you ordered $30 worth of food from a store two stores over from our building, and you asked if you should get it delivered. And then you only ate $2 worth of the food and left it all for me. But what I have to say though is that what I admire the most about you, and what I admire most about you probably compared to any other person, whether it's a teenager or an adult, is just how brave you really are. Because you have something about you that it's very rare. So congratulations to you.
Albert Einstein said, if you judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. In grades 5th through 8th, I was diagnosed with a neurological autoimmune deficiency that causes seizures, loss of basic motor skills, and memory. I would fail English class when I lost my ability to write. Though it sounds corny, I was literally that fish. It got to a point where I was forced to be homeschooled because I could no longer function in a public setting. And the school system was not willing to accommodate me for what I needed. My mom found me a tutor named Sean who would help me with whatever I needed. Sean fought for me when I couldn't fight for myself. He got me into a school where I took 2 classes a day just to keep me involved a little bit with my friends. He would observe me from afar and help me with whatever I needed. I didn't just find a tutor to help me with academics, I found a tutor to help me with life. I strive to be just like Sean. His patience, compassion, effort to get the best for every student he worked with was exactly what I tried to mirror. I wouldn't be half the guy I am today without such a great influence like him in my life. Fast forward about 4 years of therapies, programs, and medicine, I was finally able to function enough to go to school. My mom brought me to the Met open house, and I hated it. I said, screw this, I want to go to school with my friends in Warwick, but I had no choice and I had to come here. I came into the Met for freshman year in the Liberty Building, and it was weird, going from A's, B's, and C's to no grades. In fact, the whole concept and setup was weird to me. The fact that eventually everyone would become a valedictorian, all students would be out internships, and the overall positive aspect and belief that everyone could and should be a winner was something I had a hard time figuring out. Although it took me a while to adjust to the Met's ways, I adjusted. I'm not saying it was a quick adjustment. In fact, it took me about 2.5 years of the 4 years here, 3 different advisories, 2 different programs, a few debates with advisors and principals, meetings, alternative work areas, and strongly written autobiography pages. But I adjusted, and I succeeded. And for me, that represents the progress that the Met lives for. Getting back to the start, the first day of freshman year here was the first time I went to school full-time in about 4 years. It was nerve-wracking and extremely tiring. My first advisor's name was Eva. At the time, I didn't like the school, I didn't like anybody in the Liberty Building besides my math teacher and the special ed teacher, Mike and Carrie. Now I realize that they were only there for my best interest. Eva was a new advisor who was also adjusting to the Met's ways, and I now give her a lot of credit for having to deal with such a needy freshman like myself. Sophomore year, I started in Denise's advisory and participated in a college program where I could potentially get an associate's degree by the time I graduate. Well, about halfway through the year, I realized that this program was certainly not for me and not something that was going to work for the remainder of high school, and I wanted out. So again, I switched. At that point, I was 0 for 2, and I wasn't really sure what else I had to lose. Junior year, I started my boy Tim's advisory. I didn't know much about him, only that he's the bald guy with no eyebrows and back problems. When I started in the advisory junior year, I quickly found that Tim was not only a cool dude, but also a great teacher. He would let us do our own thing, but if we had ever had any questions or concerns, he would be there right away to help. Aside from all the advisory pieces, one thing I liked the most about the Met was the internship program. I have always had an interest in working with people who have developmental disabilities, and luckily, I was able to obtain a solid internship all 4 years of my high school career at the Trudeau Center in Warwick and Gateways to Change in Cranston, both nonprofits that support people with disabilities. I had a few mentors in my day. My first was Mike Sherman. A week after I started, he quit. Not because of me, well, I don't think. Second, I was handed to Ashley. She lasted about 6 months, and then Adam came along, and I was handed off to him. At first, I didn't like Adam. I thought, who was this big guy with a dry sense of humor coming into my internship trying to actually teach me something? But one day, he actually said something kind of funny that I understood, and I thought to myself, maybe this big guy wasn't so bad after all. Seriously though, without Adam and his constant nag for me to actually go to school and do stuff, I probably wouldn't have learned any of the stuff I know today. Adam left Trudeau, but he didn't stop mentoring me, and for that, I am forever grateful for him. I would honestly consider Adam not only a mentor, but one of my best buds. I know I could call him at any time and he'd most likely not answer my call, but that's what buds do. I wouldn't have any of the opportunities I have today without Monica Chadwick. Monica put everything on the line for me to get the internship at Trudeau, and she has helped me through everything. She was there for me when I was sick, is still here for me now, and I know that she will always have my back. Monica exposed me to working with people who are diagnosed with developmental disabilities back in like 2012 when I went to Special Olympics with her. Without Monica, I would not have been exposed to this field of work, and therefore I would not know anything I've learned since 2012 Special Olympics. My mentors not only gave me the information I need to succeed in this field, but they also gave me the information I need to succeed in life. Without Sean, I probably wouldn't even be in school. Without Ashley, I wouldn't have learned what not to do in this field of work. Without Adam, I wouldn't have gained knowledge on how to run a program without involving these people with disabilities and many other useless facts. And without Monica, I would never have had met some of the most influential people that I have in my life today. I owe all of these people the world, and I'm forever grateful to have them in my life. My senior year came along, and it was time to plan a senior thesis project. I've worked with grown individuals with disabilities who have had great support and resources through their entire lifetime, but have never formed a way to communicate. That right there sparked an idea in my head for an STP. There is an app on the iPad that is used for individuals who have no way to communicate. I raised approximately $2,000 in a matter of 3 months and was able to purchase 9 iPads for the clients in my internship. With that money, I was able to also acquire the app, which was $250 in the App Store. With someone donating 4 of the iPads, I had about $1,000 left over to spend on many different other things that will benefit the individuals at my internship the most. I held a meeting with all the upper management staff at Gateways Change, including the CEO, to teach them how to use the program and why I'm doing this project. Everyone loved it. They loved it so much that they decided to create a job title for me so I can continue my project and get paid when I graduate. I will also be holding trainings over the summer with the staff to train them on using the tablet and the app with the individuals who need it the most. It is absolutely impossible to recognize everyone who has supported me through everything. Without all the patience, care, and effort from the people in my life, I would probably still be in the hospital unable to function. Without all my mentors, I wouldn't be half the guy I am today. And without the support of my parents and family, I would not be able to do half the stuff I have been able to do. Teamwork is the ability to work together toward a common vision, the ability to direct individual accomplishments toward organizational objectives. It is a fuel that allows common people to obtain uncommon results. Thank you all for